Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome to another video and welcome to the reality that is my desk. Normally before I start filming a video. Usually, I somewhat clean up a bit before I start filming, but I thought I would just show the reality of it all, especially when it's a project that involves a lot of die cutting. It's just a disaster. So I needed to clean off some usable, workable space here so I could actually get to making this card. And I had done all my die cutting off camera. I keep my die cut machine behind me now, so it gives me a little more space, but yeah, all the pieces end up on my desk, of course, where they belong. So I try to keep everything together, like all the die cut, actual wafer dies and things like that, because I lose everything. I'm still trying to find my embellishment wand, my favorite one with the purple tip. I don't know where it went. It grew legs and walked off. Anyway, back to the card. So I have a piece of cardstock that I die cut with one of Simon's basic rectangle wafer dies. And I'm using the confetti stencil that came out eons ago. I'm not even sure. So I use a little bit of dot runner and just temporarily adhered the cardstock to just some scrap paper. And then to, embellish the stencil, I'm using Nuvo Glacier paste in bronze metal. This one is one of the newer-ish colors. I bought it not too long ago. I've done other videos using Glacier paste. I need to do more because I love Glacier paste. It is the closest way to get like kind of a faux foiling look. So I know some of you are refusing to get into the whole foiling thing. I don't blame you. It's fine. This is a great way though to get a similar look. It's not going to be the same, but regardless, it's fun to play with. So I applied the paste over the stencil with my little palette knife, scraped off the excess, put it back in the container with Glacier paste. And this also applies to glitter paste and other Nuvo pastes specifically. I highly, highly, highly recommend press and seal. You can use other cling wrap, possibly tinfoil. Press and seal is the best, literally. I'll link to it. I put that over the container, seal it, put the lid on. My Glacier pastes do not dry out. I have had the original containers since they first came out years ago. They still have not dried out. Some people do also press and seal like right down into the product. I've never had to do that. I've never felt a need. It's never made a difference for me. But if you have problems with your pastes and especially ones like glitter paste, ones that really do dry out quickly, press and seal, man. And thicker, chunkier paste also, you could also give it a quick little spritz with some distilled water and then seal it up. That also helps. I haven't had to do that with the Glacier paste though. So that's that tip. So I did all that stenciling, set that panel aside to dry, washed off my stencil, my palette knife, and then I had die cut the happy birthday sentiment multiple times, stacked all those layers together with craft tacky glue because sentiments just need that bit of dimension. And then the cake is the fancy cake set wafer die. And I combined that with the decorated cakes wafer dies as well that have the side pieces that have like stitching or piercing detail. So I did a two-tone cake with all those pieces. And then the cake stand I had die cut from some Tonic copper mine satin mirror cardstock. I've been hoarding this stuff since I bought it forever ago. So I pulled it up for this card. I also die cut the candles from that. And I die cut just a little scrap of yellow cardstock with the candles and just quickly trimmed off the little flames. Put dabs of glue on the copper ones. And then I just use my embellishment wand. I have multiples. I just need to find the one with the purple tip. Where did it go? Seriously. Anyway. Use that to pick them up and adhere them. And then I took a Copic marker, just a darker yellow, and added a little bit to that as well, just to give it that little extra bit of dimension. And then to adhere these candles, it was so much easier to just kind of line them up on my grid mat. And I took a piece of my Spellbinders tape. That way I don't have to do one at a time. They're all just basically adhered. And then trimmed off the excess tape that would like hang over the edges. Applied some glue, stuck that to the back of my little cake, and then held that in place for a few seconds, and then just added more tape. Because you're not going to see it. It holds everything in place. Done. So I could leave the cake here as is. It's really cute, and I don't know how well it's showing up in the video, but like the piercing detail is just fabulous. But I also die cut just a bunch of scraps of cardstock using the Blooming Circle wafer die. That came out forever ago. I just wanted something that had little flowers and little leaves, and this was perfect. So I just die cut the scraps and then put the pieces into some of my little Studio Katia triangle trays, and then just added those as little embellishments to this cake. And then to finish off the empty flower centers, I pulled out some little baubles, some Studio Katia Seafoam pearls, because of course I have pearls in colors to match. They were the perfect shade. So I adhered those to the flower centers, and then also added a couple more just as fun little embellishments. So I've got this fun little cake, and then once I had that complete, I'm going to let the glue dry on that. So I'll work on the inside of the card. So my card base is Simon's Ivory cardstock, and I have a sentiment from the XL birthday greetings stamp set. The stamp set, like great big huge birthday greetings. Live. So I pulled out the stamp, rubbed it really well with my fingers because it's a brand new stamp. I haven't used it before, and this just helps it take ink better. And I inked it up with Simon's Cantaloupe Positively Saturated ink, and then stamped that on the inside of the card. I could have inked it up and stamped it a second time to get a perfect impression, but then it would have made it more orange. So I was being a little picky here. So I was like, nope, it's fine the way it is. So I did that. And then I used the Streamer Ribbons wafer die set. And I die cut just a bunch of the colors of cardstock. FYI, all the cardstock I use is just random. I don't have links. Some of it's not even available anymore. I just went through my stash and grabbed stuff that I liked. So that Copper Mine. I think one was Lawn Fawn Apricot cardstock. Yeah, I'll link like Concord 9th cardstock, Simon's cardstock, any cardstock. Just pretty colors. So I adhered some of those streamers to the inside and then trimmed off the excess. And then my panel that I had used the Glacier paste over the confetti stencil is dry. So I adhered that to the card front. And then I'm going to adhere more streamers because, hello, they're fabulous. These have been really popular. I'm not even sure if they're available at the moment, but they will get restocked. They're just fun. So I adhered those to my background. And then for the cake, I'm going to pop that up with regular foam tape because I'm just going for dimension. This is a card that I am personally giving to someone. I'm not mailing it or anything. So in cases like that, I'm like, dimension. I just pile everything on. It can be as bulky and as bumpy as I want because it just doesn't matter. But to mail something like this, honestly, I would probably just put it in a bubble envelope to protect it and it'd be fine. So I adhered the cake with the foam tape, and then I also cut little pieces of foam tape to put on the first half of each part of the sentiment, and then the rest I glued to the cake itself. As always, could be done here. However, I was like, it needs some glitter. So I pulled out my Nuvo Glitter Gloss Aqua Shimmer pen, an oldie but goodie favorite that just stays on my desk. So I pulled that out and I painted the sentiment with that, and I also painted the little flames on the candles, and I'll use my flashlight at the end to show the sparkle because it's one of those things that when the light, depending on how the light hits it, it's very subtle. You don't really notice it, but then when the light hits it, it's just like glitter in your face. Live. So yeah, that was my little die cut and stenciled birthday card with some glitter and faux foil and the like satin foil cardstock. This color combo just makes me happy. So yeah, as always, I will link below the video to my blog post. I will have picture links to all the supplies I used in the blog post, as well as the pictures, all that info. You can check that out in the description box below the video if you are interested. Thank you all so much for watching, for subscribing, for thumbs upping, commenting, all the good things. I very much appreciate your support, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.